And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our final best of 7 of the night. It is going to be Team Liquid versus Shopify Rebellion. And oh, what a lineup we have. The ZVZs continue. We have Elazer versus Lambo, Cure versus Harstem, and Clem versus ByuN to end the night. Oh my god, again, Shopify and Team Liquid, they are teams that struggled a little bit. They struggled a little bit in the last season of WTL, WTL Summer, but this season they have been popping off in their own rights, and they're looking to vie for those slots in the playoffs. And here we go, we're getting ready for the first ZVZ. It is Elazer versus Lambo again. They seem to face off quite often, to be honest, and oh my god, we have to quickly set up predictions because they're not giving us a lot of time. As here we go, in the bottom right hand corner we have for Team Liquid, Elazer, and in the top left for Shopify Rebellion it is Lambo. Again, it makes sense for them to be actually playing by replays. That's why we don't have cams at the moment. This is a replay of these two in a best of 2. The reason for this is because I believe they are both competing in ESL Masters tonight. I believe they're in the playoffs and their matches are coming up. So again, it does make plenty of sense that they would not be available, or they don't want the schedules to clash. As I quickly try to set up predictions, and again, big shout to the sponsors as well, to ByuN, Honkai Star, Tidal, and Autofool as well. Without all these lovely sponsors, this event would not be happening, would not be possible. We would not be sponsored by Weebs. Smash. As predictions in the chat are open, place your bets on how you think this series will go. A 2-0 in either direction or a 1-1 in the end in this best of 2. Place your bets for 2 minutes. As so far, Hatch Gas Pool, standard openers from both Elazer and Lambo. Nothing too spicy, nothing too crazy in the early game. Here we go. Predictions. Vámonos. As this is actually a rematch, they actually faced off in the playoff bracket of ESL Masters Winter in the European regionals, and they went the distance. They did go the distance against each other. Again, I do think that these two are very comparable skill-wise. I think, obviously, when it comes to the best Zerg players in Europe, Cyril is number 1, Raynor is number 2, and number 3 and 4 are these two players here, Elazer and Lambo. They are a little bit interchangeable. I would typically say that Elazer is number 3 and Lambo is number 4. I would rate Elazer a little bit higher in general. But, you know, here they are. They're going to be facing off against each other, and we'll see who comes out on top this time. As links are moving out, third bases are being taken. Yes, exactly. So Elazer is going to be competing today, which is why, you know, he's not quite available here for this. Wanted to make sure that everything was going to be looking good. And links are moving out. Again, going to be just getting eyes on each other's third bases. If I'm not mistaken, in ESL Masters, when they faced off, they went all the way to the ace match, went all the way to game 5. So again, just goes to show just how comparable they are to each other, and why they are some of the best Zerg players in all of Europe. Oh, they're pretty good. And just double checking. Yeah, went all the way to the ace match between these two, my best of 5. So again, I do think this is going to be very difficult to call. In a best of 2, could really go either way. As for now, again, Lings are in production. We do see Elazer is looking to be a little bit aggressive for now, but he's making drones behind us, so some light aggression is about to be held, or is about to take place. Nothing too crazy. Here we go, Bailey's on the way as well, just to be able to defend. Both players are still hyper-fixated on droning. They've made a couple of Lings, yes, but still very much so droning back at home. So this is most likely going to be the most passive ZVZ we've seen today. Again, Shin and Raynor, they were hyper-aggressive earlier. They were constantly in each other's faces, laying flooding and pushing across the map with roaches. Here, we're just droning. We're just chilling. Testing each other with Lings, getting into roaches, saturating our third bases. This is the ZVZ. This is the ZVZs we expect from Europe versus Europe. Whether it's Elazer, Lambo, Cyril, Rainer as well. They just want to get into the mid game. They want to get into a solid economy, into Roach v Roach, the quote-unquote proper way to play ZVZ. This is why, personally, I do like it when we get Europe versus Korea, because then it's a little bit more dynamic. Already, though, we have Overlord speed on the way. Interesting. We have potential for Dropper Lords. Lambo also working towards the lair timing as well. Roaches in production, only a handful of them, but still just droning behind this. And yeah, the Overlord speed is the most interesting thing here so far that does stand out. Meanwhile, Elazer, he's cutting workers. He's going for it. Let's go. Elazer, I did notice that he did cut workers here at 55. That is just under 3 base saturation. He's cutting workers, and we're just going to be... no, never mind. We're droning behind it. Never mind. I was like, Poppy, we're sending it. No, the Lings, they come in for a scout. They get eyes on the gases that have been taken. And Elazer, he is droning. I thought there was potential for like a timing or something, but no, never mind. Overlord speed kicks in. With that, we can actually scatter across the map. We could even go for some Dropper Lords. And there it is. Dropper Lords are on the way for Elazer, not for Lambo. As Elazer also has Overlord speed in production. A little bit later than Lambo's, but on the way nonetheless. Fourth bases for both players. Dropper Lord is moving out, looking to harass one of these mineral lines. And yeah, we do see Lambo actually going to be going into a different direction himself. So we have Dropper Lord harassed from Elazer. Meanwhile, Lambo sneaking out a Spire. Spire is on the way. And we'll see if he can go unscattered. Likewise, Dropper Lord's also on the way for Lambo as well. Now in production. But Elazer is going to hit first. And more importantly, is Elazer going to scout? Is he going to be able to get eyes onto that Spire? As here comes the Overseer. Diving into the main. And yep, it is queued into the main base. Does see the Spire in the way. Elazer, he knows. He's now fully aware of what's going on. Throws down a Hydra Den immediately. Looking to get into those upgrades. Hydra Den. Burrow, tunneling claws as well. And Elazer looking to be as aggressive as possible. And he's waiting for the opportune moments. Does get eyes on the Dropper Lord as well of his opponent. He's going to be splitting up his forces. And armies are about to max out. Lambo is going to be maxing first. What's interesting is that he actually hasn't invested into his mutas. The Spire is done, by the way, but yeah, we haven't committed there. We're actually going for the drop into the third. Oh my god, the Banelings! Oh, there was no reaction here, and Elazer, he loses his mineral line. Ay. Not like this. A late reaction there out of Elazer, and here comes the army from Lambo. He's snowballing out of control. Looking to break on through Elazer. He had his army split up. He was ready for the drops. Not ready for the push. He's dropping across the map, but Lambo is just forcing his way into the third base. And Lambo, does he have too much? It looks like he does. It looks like he does have too much. He breaks through the defensive line. Took down the mineral line, pushing in towards the natural base. He's losing some drones back at home. But that is supply that Elazer doesn't have to defend, as he barely forces his back. The Dropper Lords are being annoying. They're getting workers. But Lambo is still up in supply, still just a little bit distracted by these Overlords. God, that Overlord's so low, actually. As the dust settles, Elazer actually technically has a higher worker count. He has been droning, has been resaturating his bases. Elazer working on 2-1 upgrades. Lambo cutting upgrade production, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't bode well. Yeah, Lambo, he's only got +1. What goes down? Lambo maxes out once again. He's not wasting his time with upgrades. He's playing almost like Elazer did a couple of months ago. No like minimal upgrades, breaking on through, and maxing out once again. Here we go. We are going to be rotating around. Huh. Miles barely going to be missed here. Elazer is buying a lot of time to remax. Elazer is slowly catching up in supply. He has the defender's advantage. Miles are going to be missing. Ooh, the connect on Elazer though. Lambo is trying to gain some ground, but is he overextending? He gets into a middle line. A couple of drones are falling. And it looks like Elazer is going to force this back. Oh my god. Again, it's just so close with these fights. Elazer taking a couple of bouts to the face. Losing 5 workers as well. But the defender's advantage does so much in ZVZ. Basically, reinforcements are arriving that much faster for Elazer. And in Roach versus Roach, I mean, that can be everything. And now the worker counts have evened up. Of course, it wasn't just the reinforcements, but also the upgrades. Elazer, he was fighting with an upgrade advantage. Lambo still does not have +2. Elazer slightly ahead in Roaches. +2 on the horizon here for Lambo. As both armies are maxing out again. Now, Elazer still has that hydrogen from the early game because of the Spire, if you remember. And he's actually investing in some upgrades. He has the breathing room here to invest. 200 supply, working on +2 carapace, Hydra range. He's thinking about those lurkers. He is thinking about it. Meanwhile, Lambo, he's going to try to force his way in. Yeah, pulling apart the attention of Elazer. Yeah, forcing his way up the ramp. He's going to take some bounce to the face. Wiles do connect. Elazer, he didn't quite split up his army correctly enough. And Lambo, he finds a way into the natural. Out-positioning Elazer. Oh my god. Wiles connect. You can see Elazer is being pulled apart, having a really hard time keeping up here with Lambo. And more Wiles are going to be connecting. Elazer pushing up a ramp into a concave, taking Wiles to the face. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Elazer just having a really hard time knowing where to push in, and he's being pulled apart. Lambo, it looks like he may have just done it. He's being cleaned up in the main, but he's getting on top of the fort. And he gets into the mid line. He will get a kill on this hatchery. Or will he? Oh. Will he get the kill? Wiles, barely he will. The hatchery goes down. Elazer's hurting. Gets a couple of roaches. Not bad. But with the death of that hatchery, Elazer's pretty committed. He has to counterattack. He has to push. He has to move out. Do some kind of counter damage. Like, it feels like for a lot of this game, Elazer's been the defender. He's been just stuck at home. I love that he's making use of Burrow. Because of the Spire earlier, he did invest into Tunneling Claws and Burrow. Miss Rally. Oh, a Ravager. Go down for free. Big loss there for Elazer. Wiles going to be connecting on Elazer once again as well. Lambo, he has the bigger army. Again, Wiles from both sides, but GG is going to get called. And Lambo, he has too much, far too much there in that fight. And Elazer taps out. GG, Lambo takes game 1. GG, well played. That was very back and forth though. It felt like Lambo was, or did have the advantage for a lot of that, but you saw Elazer barely hold on. barely do some counter damage as well, bring it back and forth over and over again. Whew. But Lambo did take that first game, and Elazer's map of choice is going to be Hard Lead. And in the top left-hand corner for Team Liquid, we have Elazer. And in the bottom right, we have his opponents for Shopify, Lambo. Whew, that was wild. That was quite a back and forth. That was really the ebb and flow of ZVZ. Things took a while to really pop off though. Both players were pretty passive up until the 4 base mark, where both players were on 4 base saturation, essentially, or 3 base saturation and a 4th base for larva. 60 plus workers. And then the roach counterattacks began. The drop play, really it all began with Lambo coming in with that bailing drop into the mineral line. Things kind of popped up from there. And now we're going to be settling into game 2. Again, the pressure is now on Elazer to fight back. Can he do so? Or will Lambo clean it up? I did see in the chats, you know, that Lambo would be so eager to crush Elazer after ESL Masters. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of, pride on the line, I'm sure. Especially because, as was mentioned, Lambo, he did struggle in ESL Masters in general. Did struggle quite a bit. So we'll see if he can redeem himself here at WTL. Can't pull off that redemption. But now, hatch gas pool. Hatch gas pool here for our players. Standard stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if once again in the early game we get up to 3 bases, we get a couple of lings and mains, but we just focus on droning. We are on hard lead, and hard lead does have a very short rush distance. Very short rush distance by ground, so if we did want to be aggressive, this would be the map to do it on. And this was Elazer's map of choice, so maybe Elazer is thinking of going for a timing attack or even an all-in. Or at least incepting that kind of thought into the mind of Lambo and keeping him maybe overthinking. Keeping his attention on what could be instead of what is. So now 3rd bases are being taken, everything is still looking normal. Lords are backing off. Gonna be injecting back home. Just gonna be keeping up with each other. Bailey-ness is on the way here for Elazer. And likewise for Lambo. We're not cutting corners, everyone is keeping up with each other. Everything is as it should be. And really, I'm just keeping my eyes peeled here to see if anyone makes a flood of lings. Does anyone commit to ling play? Do we double down as well, cut workers? For now, we have a handful of lings, but this is really nothing too special here from either of our players. Yeah, we're still droning. Looking to be another passive opener and a passive mid game, which is fine. Which is fine, of course. Things don't have to be hyper aggressive all the time. You can just settle in towards a longer game instead. It's at least what we are headed towards. And yeah, we're just going to be droning, getting our 3rd bases up and running. Lairs are now on the way. We have a little bit of deviation here. A faster lair for Elazer. We have a faster roach warren for Lambo, but only by a couple of seconds. For the most part, we should be headed in the same direction. Lambo should be throwing down his lair once he gets the gas for it. Oh, never mind. Okay, so Lambo, he's going to be delaying the lair in favor of +1. So Lambo is going to be ahead in upgrades. Meanwhile, Elazer, once again, going for a faster lair alongside Overlord Speed. Dropper Lords. Dropper Lords should be on the way on the horizon for Elazer. They did okay for Elazer in game 1, but they were amazing for Lambo. I'm sure he does want to make use of that. Does want to get into that Drop a Lord play. And something that has also been going on here that I've been glossing over is that the players are constantly scouting each other, constantly sending link. So even here, we saw Elazer scout the third, likewise Lambo scouting the third. And the reason for this is because they're just checking and confirming, oh, you're droning? Okay, I can drone. It's basically the dynamic that's happening here. Just confirming over and over again that, you know, not just droning, but mineral lines being saturated, gases are being taken. I know it's safe for me to take a gas. I know it's safe for me to take a fourth. So they're just kind of going through this checklist and getting further and further into this game. Drop Lords are hitting the field for both players. Elazer, I believe, is going to be hitting first, as he does have a couple of Overlords moving out. Does have them on the way. And again, just very macro-oriented play overall. As Overseer comes in. Again, this is a really important scout as well, because at this point we could be seeing Spire play, which is what we saw in Game 1 from Lambo. Did end up cancelling the Spire in the end, but there's always a possibility for it. So both players just making sure that there is no Spire or Mute attack from the other. As here come the Drop Lords. Here we go. We do have the drop in towards the third base. 2 workers went down. Drop towards the main was deflected. So some damage was done, but Lambo was able to keep up. Likewise, we do have the drop in towards that natural base. This is a bailing drop, by the way. Lambo has a lot more potential with this. Does force the split. Gets 1 drone. Less than ideal. Up. And gets three drones for 4 bailings. Not worth it here for Lambo. I would say probably a better trade here for Elazer overall. But Lambo actually does have a worker lead. Okay, he's up to 70 workers. He's droning. Is he droning too much? So for those wondering, 3-base saturation is typically what you want to work towards. Any more than that, and you get some diminishing returns. And I'm concerned here, like Lambo, he's droning up quite heavily. Meanwhile, Elazer just focusing on building up his Roach army. +2 on the way. Tunneling claws, burrow, get into the main base. We're going for the queen. Queen will go down. Contamination on the Roach Warren. Let's go. And that shows us that Lambo is fully aware of tunneling claws. Like, he's fully aware of like the burrow play. He's getting into it himself. As Lambo is still droning. Meanwhile, Elazer, he's content with his 67 worker count. Content with his 3-base saturation. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Gracias, papi, gracias. Long time coming. As Elazer is the first to max out. And not just max out, but because he has a lower worker count, he will have a larger army in general. Bear that in mind. Hydrogen is on the way to work on the next step to get ready for mutas, but also get ready for Hydrolurker Viper. If we do get there. Elazer is going to be threatening a dive. And you can see how difficult it is pushing up this ramp. I mean, Elazer is coming in from 2 angles. He's committing. Just forcing himself up the ramp as well. Elazer slightly behind in the upgrades, only with +1 range, not carapace. And Lambo with the concave, with the high ground, with the defender's advantage. Can he barely break through? He's getting on top of the Ravagers. There's only 3 Ravagers left, soon to be 2, and Lambo, he is shutting this down. Again, better upgrades. Faster reinforcements. Lambo does force back Elazer. Now, as Elazer lost his army, I'm curious if we're going to be building up a Hydra count. Not yet. We have the Hydra Den, but we're not getting into Lunkers just yet here for Elazer. Forced to take another base, remaxing, rebuilding. Lambo does have more gas mining overall, so he's going to have an easier time remaxing as well. Lazer going to be pushing from the right-hand side. Looking for another way in. Looking for a way to outposition his opponent. Lambo going for his own borrow play. Sending a couple of roaches across. It's a risky move. Definitely. Conversation bit has this one. Bailey's in one lane. 4 workers. Not bad. Devastation bit is going to be forced to be cancelled in the main. Or will it? It's going to be close. Remember, he does get here in time. He will save that pit. You can see Elazer working on his own infestation bit. Lambo, he actually threw down a second infestation bit as well, just in case. A bit later. Both armies have maxed out. File's going to be connecting. Lambo forcing his way in. Elazer looking for a surround. Uh-oh. Lambo in a really awkward position here. Yeah, the army coming in from multiple angles. Good splits from Lambo. Really awkward engagement out of Elazer. Reinforcements are on the way, and it looks like Lambo, he may have overextended. He does have reinforcements coming, but it takes a while. And the Ravagers are exposed. Oh my god. Ravagers are going to be going down one after the other. I would say a big overextension there. I think Lambo did lose, more high-tech units, more Ravagers in general. We'll have to back off. Will back off in the end. Lambo, he's working on the hive. Meanwhile, Elazer building up his Hydra upgrades at least. Hive will be for Vipers for 3-3. Just thinking about that next step. Elazer just one step behind here when it comes to the hive. Here we go, we're pushing in. Once again, we try to push on through, try to break this forward base. But Lambo, he's just crashing into a brick wall. Yeah, this is not going to be it. Just Elazer has far too much. He completely shuts this down. The better concave. Once again, just better reinforcements. Elazer just going to be regenerating his HP, rotating around towards the center base. Yeah, you can just see how well Elazer did trade. And can he break through? He's trying. It does feel like whoever's the defender just wins these fights, typically. Yeah, and Lambo, he does force back the army. The pendulum swinging one way and then the other. Biles will connect. Do connect. Hydra's in the mix. Elazer remaxing instantly. Hive is on the way. +3 attack in production here for Lambo. Do we have any lunkers? I don't think we do. Where are the lunkers, man? The lunkers. As Elazer is going for some tunneling claw roaches here towards the left-hand side. No detection. Uh-oh. No detection is available. Lambo is being distracted, and here comes the army. And Lambo's going all in. Oh no, he's throwing back around. Never mind, he's pushing, but also trying to defend at the same time. And this base is going to go down. 14 drones as well. And this may be the moment that Elazer's been waiting for. Catching Lambo completely out of position. Takes down a base, takes down a mineral line. And now Lambo, he's hurting. He will have +3. He will have a larger army. This is true. Lambo will have a larger army, but he won't have a bank, or as big as a bank. Won't have as much sustain. It's a risky move here from Lambo. He's going for it. He's not redroning. He had the option to, but he chose not to. Here we go. The armies are going to be crashing. The Hydras are getting caught. Oh my god. It's It's going to be Lambo's turn to take a better fight. ByuN's going to be grazing the army, but Elazer losing a very expensive army here. These Hydras, they're not cheap. Feels lunkers, man. No lunkers. We do have hives. +3 range is going to kick in for Lambo first. We will have better upgrades. We have contamination. Oh, not quite. I'm waiting for the contamination. More Hydras are on the way for Elazer. He's trying to find another way in. He did kill a base earlier. It's a couple of hits in. He's going for the Ravagers. Gets one. He's going to get two. He's going to get three. Good target firing here from Elazer on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, on the right, the piles are dodged. And Elazer, as he just traded too well, he breaks through onto the base as well. The center base from Lambo is going to be going down. 10 workers as well. And Lambo is being pulled apart. It's just too much. He just lost 2 bases, his 5th and his 4th. He's down to 3. He's still just trying to amass a Roach Ravager army, not taking up. He does have +3 attack. He's ahead in upgrades. He's ahead in those upgrades, but will it matter? Because the supply in a mirror matchup does not lie. Yeah, as Elazer, he's going to be able to push on through. The concaves are looking pretty comparable, but Elazer has numbers on his side, and it looks like we are tying it up. GG gets called. Elazer will tie up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, very, very proper ZVZ between these two, as we saw some very passive early games into the mid game. Basically, it was like no rush 10 minutes, where both Lambo and Elazer, they were just droning, saturating their bases, getting up to 3 base economy, and then the aggression began, with Dropper Lords to begin with, of course. And we saw that Lambo was finding some wins here and there, don't get me wrong. He did have some stronger upgrade timings, but Elazer was able to fight back. Elazer was able to, of course, pull his opponent apart eventually and cripple the economy. And over time, Lambo, he ran out of steam. But now we find ourselves in our next best of 2 between Cure and Harstem. Oh, let's go. Here we go. It's going to be a TVP here, of course. Again, Cure, the most recent pickup from Team Liquid, and predictions in the chat are open. For the next 2 minutes, predictions are open, so place your bets on how you think this series will go. A 2-0 in either direction or a 1-1. Cure, arguably the new ace player here on Team Liquid, and here we go in the bottom left. We have for Team Liquid, it is Cure. And in the top right, for Shopify Rebellion, we have Harstem. And I was concerned, but Harstem isn't playing tonight. Okay, there we go. I was like, I'm pretty sure Harstem is still in ESL Masters Europe, and he is, but he's not playing tonight, so don't have to play via replays. We can play it out live here in Cure. This has been very popular in this matchup. He sneaks around. He does not bypass the probe. The probe saw it, but Harstem may not have seen it. The eBay is thrown down. Harstem. The probe saw it, but Harstem did not, and that means that this eBay will get up and running, and Harstem will be forced to take the unnatural natural. Ay. Okay, for those wondering the way that this works, because the eBay has so much progression, Harstem should be forced to expand elsewhere, but oh, my mistake. Harstem, it looks like he did see. Zealot is on the way, Proxy Pylon is being thrown down, Cure did not scout the main base, and Harstem, he doesn't care about the eBay block because he is focusing on his own aggression, on his own, I imagine, Proxy Gateway. This wouldn't be a bad location for even Proxy Robo. Do we go for a 1 base all in? There we go. Stargate. Okay. Proxy Stargate. Zealot is going to be chipping away at the eBay, which means Harstem is going for a delayed expansion. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh no! Ninja base? It's gonna get scouted. Oh my god, the probe gets found. Cure, he does spot it, and yeah, Harstem is gonna back off. Oh, or pivot back in. Curious. So Cure he saw the probe. He doesn't see the proxy though. He's not fully aware of what's going on. Where's the cancel? Up. Void Ray? Okay. I see you. Okay, so a couple of things. One, Proxy Stargate is usually just for aggression, just to get ahead economically with an Oracle, but we have a Proxy Void Ray. This feels like a late shield battery setup. I'm not too sure if I'm fond of this here from Harstem. This is very disjointed. Very chaotic. Yeah, we force a cancel on the pylon. No ninja base. This feels very improv out of Harstem. He's coming back in with the probe. Is he going for the ninja base? I think he is. He has 400 minerals. Yep, ninja base. There you go. Mine's going to be going up. The Cyclone takes a lot of hits. Will survive though. Pulls back and the Marines, they go to town on the ground army. Bunker is done. Cure will hold. And Harstem goes for that ninja. Meanwhile, Cure has been very adamant with scouting. Cure is actually checking top left. If you look at the minimap, you can see Cure. He's checking top left in case that is where the proxy was. In case that's where the hidden base was. Does not come across it though. He's coming in to check the natural. He may think it's a one base all in. If the SCV does check the natural base, he may just, you know, get false information and overreact. Yeah, there we go. No expansion, no nexus. Is he gonna check that southern location? He should. Especially if he sees how tech heavy he is. Yeah, there we go. Twilight Council on the way. Gateway as well. This screams a tech transition. It doesn't scream a one base all in. So Cure, he's piecing this together bit by bit. He's trying to piece it together. Meanwhile, yep, CC on the high ground. Medevac is on the way. Tank as well. Cure is going to eventually break free and go for a drop. But that Phoenix count, oh my god. This is just so wild. Harstem, he doesn't recall to the pocket. He actually Maynards manually over. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but we'll get there. And from here, Harstem is just building up his charged lot Phoenix composition. Jump is going to be moving out, but even if we come across the ninja base or the hidden base, we have plenty in position to protect it. Not too sure if now is the time to try to punish. Maybe it is with this tank. Maybe it is. Phoenix is from behind. Oh my god, two of them go down instantly. The mines! Beautiful setup here from Cure. Big blow to Harstem. Losing two Phoenixes already. And the Winter Mines, they survive. Phoenix is taking even more hits. Cure, he doesn't give a damn what Harstem is up to. He's just expanding, he's chilling back at home. Taking his natural. And I love that we're ferrying this drop. We are escorting the drop here with these Vikings, making sure it's safe against these Phoenixes. And we're checking the hidden base, and we do come across it. The medevac, no, an overextension. No, it goes down. An entire medevac goes down. A big pick-off here from Harstem. And some miscontrol out of Cure. Was unable to react in time. And with the death of that drop, Harstem is safe. He's fine. Like, there's nothing to stop him. He's keeping that base up and running. Harstem is expanding back at home, taking a third. Cure's in a rough position. He has to wait for Stim, which means he has to allow this base to get up and running. He has to allow it to mine. He cannot touch it. Not anymore. Not after losing that base. Escort slacking. Yeah, the Vikings, they were a little bit far behind. The medevac boosted forward. with that, we're getting into this game. Of course, Cure, he's aware of the base now, but can't do anything about it. Robo's getting up and running, +1 as well. For the Forge from +1. Charge is done here for Harstem. And yeah, Harstem is just settling into this. Now the downside is Harstem doesn't have any splash damage, so this eventual tank push is going to be pretty insane. Yeah, 5 Raxes in total. No third CC. This is looking like a 2-base all-in at a Cure. This is looking very committed. Now we may throw down the third CC as we push, but this is still going to be a terrifying push for Cure. There's the Unsiege. Simon +1 on the horizon. Storm is not done. We have a Templar Archives for Archons, don't get me wrong, but no Storm. And here we go. We're pulling the boys. We're going for the 2-base all in. It's all or nothing here for Cure. A very strong push. And what does Harstem have to defend? He has charge lots. He has, I'm hoping, shield batteries. Yeah, there we go. A couple of shield batteries. Archons are on the way. No Storm. Uh-oh. Without Storm, Cure, he can break this, and Harstem has to give up on this base. He's going for a counterattack. Oh, the Widow Mines. The boys are coming back home. We pulled the boys, and then we unpulled the boys as they're racing back home because Cure knows that, hey, he already did the damage he was looking for. Killed the third, and that's going to be good enough. We killed the natural, take it. Oh my god. Bit of miscontrol there, or mispathing out of Harstem. The Warp Prism does go down. And now Cure is looking fine, looking insane actually. He's down in workers, but he is up heavily in army supply. Boys being pulled. they go back and forth. The boys, they're being overworked, Pappy. You pull them, you unpull them, you pull them again. And here we go. Tanks, they're getting within range. They're getting on top of the ramp. Zelz's trying to collapse on this, but it's going to be annihilated. Here's Cure snowballing out of control. GG gets called, and Cure will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Really decisive move there out of Cure. Harstem, he got away with a lot. It was a good start. It was a decent start out of Harstem. Decent start. If you remember, there were some really crucial moments. I want to say that, it makes sense. We have our map of choice. Harstem goes for Radisson Station. Plenty of sense here. No vetoes in WTL. You can pick whatever map you want. Radisson Station, there's a lot of potential here for Harstem. But talking a little bit more about game 1. Remember, Harstem did lose 2 Phoenixes early on, which was brutal. Did lose a lot of Phoenixes, which did give Cure kind of momentum. That momentum was stripped away when it came to losing that medevac. But committing to the 2-base all-in was, I think, very smart. I think a very smart move out of Cure. Was able to macro quite well up to that point. And unfortunately, he was able to hit before Harstem had Storm. I mean, Storm hadn't even started. I think that may have been a mistake. That may have been a bit of a misstep there for Harstem, not starting Storm and not having splash damage in time for that push, which meant that he just fell behind. Fell behind economically. GG, well played. Cure, able to take a lead. Can he keep going? So Team Liquid are up 2-1. Can we go all the way? Or I'm curious, what does Harstem have in store for us? Now, Radisson Station is a very unique map. Very defensive. We have seen a lot of Sky Toss. And I think Harstem, you know, he's got a bit of a nickname. He's known for being the captain for a reason. And we may even see Sky Toss here. I'm curious. A lot of potential. There's a lot of potential on Radisson Station. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have, for Team Liquid, Cure. And in the top right, we have his opponent for Shopify Rebellion. It is Harstem. Those boys traveled the world. They did. They went on a journey. They went on an adventure, and it was beautiful. They got to see so many different sights. Usually SCVs in the Caprulu sector, you know, they live their life in one place, and that is in the bases of the Terran. They very rarely get to move out. Every now and then someone gets to like proxy something, but yeah, they went on a journey. It was beautiful. They lived their life to the fullest. As Harstem is going for a gate expand, very economic opener. Oh, good. Very economic opener here out of Harstem. Again, typically, sorry, this was not a gate expand. This is a Nexus first. Oh my god! And I was about to say that typically on this map, the name of the game: cut all the corners. Cut as many corners as you can on Radisson Station, because chances are you won't be punished. For those wondering, the reason for this, rushes to spike ground is quite long on Radisson Station. On top of that, ramp going into the natural. On top of that, no Reaper Cliff. No Reaper Cliff going into the main or natural base, so you're safe in the early game. You can hide your tech that much easier. Pocket base as well, so you get a free third. You also have a very secure fourth base because you have two choke points, and only one attack path leading into the fourth. So as a result, we see a lot of greed here on this map from everyone involved. Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. Cut all the corners that you can. As we do have our Gateway and Cybercore follow-up as well. If I'm not mistaken, is that a full wall? I think there may be a gap in between the Cybercore and the Gateway, but that may just be a full wall instead, which again, no reason not to. The reason for this as well, there are destructible rocks next to the wall, and we're about to find out if it's a full wall or not. I think it is, I think. As Reaper goes in and up. Yep, full wall. Okay, so you can see the destructible rocks there on the right hand side. Essentially, you can full wall off, and then by the time you're ready to move out, you don't even have to destroy a building. You can just destroy the rocks, and then you can just move out. So again, this is also a big reason why Reaper openers on Radisson Station are very uncommon. Just because there's nothing that the Reaper can do. I believe the Reaper did see the Stargate though, was barely within range, so bit of a misstep there. I mean, I don't know if it was possible to really get it away. Up! Reaper almost goes down. Cure has to respect that. Meanwhile, behind this, very fast third TC. We spoke about it. You have to be as greedy as possible. Cut all the corners, and this is just an insane timing for a Terran to throw down a third TC against Protoss. But we're just trying to be as greedy as possible. A very different kind of StarCraft here on Radisson Station. That's why I love it, you know. That's why I appreciate WTL. I don't know if you've seen the tweets made by the ESL Twitter account, the ESL SC2 Twitter account, but they even made a meme about Radisson Station, about how, like, I think they haven't played a single game on Radisson Station, or maybe one. Like, it's just the most vetoed map in the map pool. But because there are no vetoes in WTL, we get to see it. We actually get to see more of Radisson Station in this tournament than in any other tournament. It's I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Because these lead to really interesting games, just because the way that you approach StarCraft is completely different on Radisson Station than any other map. Here we go, Stargate opener into a Robo follow-up, third base is being taken, Phoenix is moving out. And they will be gaining map control. We go. Gonna be threatening that mineral line. Won't quite get an SCV as the Cyclones are in position. They take down us. Oh my god, they take down a Phoenix. An overextension. Ah, no, two of them. You can, the reaction there from Harstem, shaking his head. Big misstep there. And sure, you can be as greedy as you can, but yeah, a bit of an overextension from Harstem, losing two Phoenixes for free. Did not get anything for it. Ay, ay, ay. Behind this, we're going Phoenix Colossus. We have the Bay on the way for eventually Colossus or even Disruptor production. But losing those Phoenixes is pretty huge. Suddenly, Harstem has less of a presence on the map. Suddenly, there's that much less stopping Cure from going for drop play even and being active on the map as well. It's a rough start. A rough start here for Harstem. And here comes the push. Harstem is working on +1 air attack, which I appreciate. It looks like we're trying to go into Sky Toss. But I'm still quite concerned. As Kira's being active, moving out, looking to catch whatever he can. Third base is getting saturated somewhat, but Kira's cutting workers at 55. Oh, no, there we go, making 3 workers at a time. Stim, combat shields on +1. It should be finishing in time for this attack. The first Colossus is on the way, but I think Kira hits first. Kira has been spotted. Phoenix is getting in position. And what can we pick up? Show us what you got. The Cybercore researching is being spotted, and we just go straight for the Cybercore. +1 air attack is going to be denied. Phoenix is trying to catch reinforcements. They catch a medevac. Up! The unload! Unload is too late. Oh no, shot! Okay, unload was too late. Only a handful of Marines get unloaded. But we deny +1 air attack. We take down the Cybercore. Colossus does reveal itself, and Harstem should clean this up. And this is a big blow here for Cure. He got a Phoenix, he got a couple of units. It was a bit of a trade. You can see here, got a Sentry, got a Zealot, got a couple of Phoenixes. But that was a lot of supply thrown away, and Harstem, he's looking a little bit better here. There it is. This is what I expected. Sky Toss. So, because Radisson Station is so defensive, so secure, Harstem is taking a 4th base, and he is racing into Sky Toss, but it's not on its own, right? We built up towards it. We started Phoenixes into Colossus, then Sky Toss for Harstem. Now, unfortunately for Harstem, he has to throw down the Cybercore again and restart +1 air attack. And Cure also scouted the +1 air attack, which means he knows what he needs. There it is. Second starport on the way for Cure, making as many Vikings as possible to have a backbone to his army for as much anti-air as possible as well. Here we go. Harstem trying to be as active as possible. Carriers are on the way. Cure still licking his wounds after losing quite a big chunk of his army. Moving out with everything else. Trying to catch the Phoenixes if possible as well. As it looks like he has missed him. Yeah, turrets are being thrown down. +1 air attack restarting here for Harstem, being chronoed as we speak. And Harstem is getting away with the Sky Toss. He may just snowball out of control, by the way. Harstem, he takes an army lead. The Phoenixes are posing a big threat here for Cure, and so far they're doing a decent job. And they dive on the Vikings. The mine! Oh, mine shot does go off, but we take down 2 Widow Mines. Marines, they're forced to race back home. SCVs are falling left and right. Cure having a hard time keeping up with Harstem, and Harstem, he has successfully pulled the army back, which means he has successfully gotten his 4th up and running. The hard part is taking a 5th, but honestly, you don't need a 5th base to max out on Sky Toss. It's fine, Bobby, it's fine. But there we go, 5th base is now being taken from Harstem. We'll see if we can get away with it. Meanwhile, back at home, Cure, he's taking up towards +1 ship weapons, Ghost Academies on the way. We're making 6 Vikings at a time. That is a lot of Vikings. And we need it. We need all those Vikings to deal with the Sky Toss army. 3rd starport is on the way, or even 4th starport, I think. Yeah, it would be 4th starport if we're making 6 Vikings. Yeah. There it is. Ghost as well for EMPs. I mean, Cure, he's refining his army quite well, don't get me wrong. I'm just worried that Harstem is going to hit first. Harstem has been preserving more of his units, more so than his opponents. He's been able to deflect the first attack, and yeah, once the upgrades kick in, Harstem, he should be pushing. He should be pushing here. We got Phoenix Range on the way, Mothership, more carriers in production. Personally, I would like... I was gonna say Storm. Maybe would I like Storm? I think I would. I think I would like High Templar with Storm and a couple of Archons. Sure, they're a ghost with EMPs. I understand that. I understand, but there's still a lot to EMP, and you know, ideally you're gonna be wanting to force Cure to have a lot of targets, and you know, maybe even miss some of them. Maybe even force his ghost to be exposed. I think the problem. I mean, disruptors are probably a better option. Yeah. Disruptors is probably the way to go. Just to minimize the effectiveness of those EMPs. I dislike the over reliance of Colossus here because there are so many Vikings, so they can take down the Skytoss and the Colossus as well, which is terrifying. It's why we do need disruptors, and the first one is on the way. Two more Stargates, and here we go. Harstem is max. He's pushing out. Does catch some of these turrets. Not bad. Sensor towers and turrets being knocked down as Harstem is pushing. God, how many Vikings? 24 Vikings. What is this, a TVT? Aye. It's a lot of Vikings. As we're just trying to shift gears here. There we go. Phoenix is now on the way. Part of me feels like I would have liked Void Rays, but Phoenixes, they play a very similar role. I feel like Phoenixes are too fragile. Like, it's not going to take too many volleys for these Vikings to just chew through the Phoenixes. Or maybe I would even prefer like a more ground-based supportive unit instead. Like more Archons and Disruptors, but they're just pointing out that Harstem's been killing his own stuff. So Harstem, he knows that the Colossus are less than ideal, so he's been killing his own Colossi and he's replacing them with Disruptors. Feels Protoss, man. Feels Protoss. Yeah, I mean, but the reality is that the Colossus, they have kind of run out of usefulness. Like, they're just not. If you're relying on Colossus at this stage of the game, then you're in a lot of trouble. And here we go. Cure's pushing out again. He's looking for the army. Here we go. We're rotating around. Turrets are on the way. Cure getting his own 5th base up and running. Both players building up their banks, and here we go. Oh my god. We get one ghost. One ghost will fall here to the Skytoss, and Harstem is looking to just break on through. It's still going to come down to the army, to the positioning. Turrets, they get a couple of free hits in. Jaws EMP. Big EMP on the Phoenixes. Good kiting as well here from Cure. Pulling back. We'll be losing some of these Liberators though. The Freedom Zones, they go down. Good kiting overall, but Cure, he's running out of steam. He's running out of Vikings, and has Harstem done it? Has he been able to break through? It looks like he has. It looks like Harstem, he snowballed out of control. The power of the Skytoss. Vikings are coming into support, and they're kind of getting through the shields and through the HP bars here of the Harstem. But nah, there's just far too much here. We can see Cure lean back in his chair. He knows he cannot deal with the Skytoss. The mass carrier is far too much. Cure was not ready for this. He was not anticipating this at the start of the game. And Harstem, he's done a GG gets called. Harstem. Oh my god. Let's go here as, oh my god. Harstem popping off with the Skytoss. He's able to take game number 2, tying it up 1-1. The power of Skytoss, the power of Radisson Station as well. Again, this is something that is quite unique to this map. The fact that Harstem was able to turtle, was able to get away with 4 bases, and get away with all those carriers, all the Starport production as well, the Stargate production. Very well done. Cure was quite aggressive, and again, I'm not convinced by his. I mean, his first push was lackluster. His second push as well, where he took down the Cyber Core, which was nice, but he lost so much of his army, which meant that after that job was initially cleaned up, then Harstem had a lot of breathing room. He was able to get into the swing of things, rebuild his cyber core, get back into +1, and he did well for himself. Did very well for himself, fighting toe-to-toe with Cure. And now it comes down to a TBT between Clem and ByuN. Oh, let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Let me just quickly set up the predictions. And oh my god. Let me just quickly set up those predictions here, as looks like I don't have much time because this is played by replays. We're going in. And in the top left, we have Clem for Team Liquid. And in the top right, we have ByuN for Shopify. One moment as I quickly try to set up the predictions. So, it's very possible, I can just double check here. Predictions are open. Predictions are now open in the chat for how you think this is going to go out. How you think this will turn out here, as I believe Clem is playing tonight. Yes, Clem is playing tonight. So, Clem, he's competing in ESL Masters Winter in an hour or so. So because of that, it makes sense that he is unavailable, and they did play this series out ahead of time, just to make sure that there was no scheduling conflicts or scheduling issues, as ByuN is going for a proxy 2 racks. Let's go. Let us go. Yeah, as we're pointing out, yes, Clem is going to be playing tonight. That's also why Elazer also played his series via replays. So Elazer and Clem, they're both competing in ESL Masters. Now, what is scary? Right now we're tied up 2-2. If we go tied up 1-1, what is scary? If we go to the ace match, and I know I don't have much time because we're proxy reapering and reapers are on the way. If we go to the ace match, it's very possible that for Team Liquid, Clem and Elazer will not be available for the ace because they are competing in ESL Masters Winter. Which means we have to rely on other players instead, like Harstem or Scarlet or, Scarlet's on Shopify. Like Harstem or, I mean, Diego's not on Team Liquid anymore. Cure, I guess Cure will be available, but again, they have limited options. I think Cure would be the most logical choice there if we do end up in the ace match. Meanwhile, here we go. The Reapers are upon us. Now, thankfully for Clem goes for a double gas opener. Double gas here, factory's on the way. It is going to be delayed as 2 SCVs go down, but the factory finishes. Hellion now in production, but Clem, he has to minimize his losses. He's losing too many SCVs. Oh my god, 4 SCVs already, and this is becoming game-ending here as Clem has to come back. Ay. Or he went reactor first, and there we go. The 2 Reapers do pop out, but we shoot first. This is too much. This is becoming far too much here. The Hellion is on the way. We get 6 SCVs. 7? 8? Oh my god. 8 workers go down. ByuN taking a massive worker lead. This should not have happened. Again, Clem was too greedy. He went reactor first, and unfortunately, he just was unable to minimize losses. Things are snowballing out of control here in favor of ByuN from the get-go before Clem can even get into his build. Now, he does have 2 Hellions, so now he's okay. He can stabilize. He has an army, but he needs to do some counter damage. And the problem is that he can't leave, because if he leaves, what if ByuN comes back in? Then more SCVs go down. So Clem, he's kind of stuck at home for a little bit longer here, making sure he's safe and secure. And back at home, ByuN, he's got a Cyclone on the way, CC on location on the low ground. Enough time has passed, here we go. Clem is pushing. He's looking for the Reapers. We do see ByuN pulling back to the Zolnaga, racing back home even. As I love this from ByuN. Oh my god, he's being so annoying, landing the racks here at the natural base. ByuN once again shoots first, he gets 1, he gets 2 Reapers. Takes some Hellion volleys to the face, and ByuN will be losing everything. Was that worth it for ByuN? Was it worth throwing away every single Reaper? Because here we go, Clem is pushing. And what does ByuN have left? That was a brutal loss. CC is done. Nothing shoots up. We have 1 Cyclone to defend, but we hold. Second Cyclone's on the way. We can get some lock-ons. We get another Reaper. Another couple of Hellions as well. Good amount of splash damage is dealt, but Clem is running out of units. We get a repair. Cyclone survives. And Clem is still stuck on one base. Meanwhile, ByuN is happily morphing in an orbital. Orbital is being morphed in. I did take a couple of hits, but for the most part, ByuN is stabilizing. I love that we have a medevac on the way for Clem just to be hyper aggressive. Likewise, ByuN going for a Banshee as well, so both players being aggressive in their own way. Here we go. Harstem Shopify. Oh, I'm tired, Papi. I'm tired. Oh, he just casted Harstem versus Cure. I know why I thought Cure, not Harstem. It's fine, Papi. It's fine. Just catching up with the chat. As we do see Clem bleeding out a lot of units, is going to go for a counterattack. Again, we spoke about the medevac. Drop play coming in from Clem. Clem is still behind. He's behind, what, 5, 6, 7 workers. He needs to catch up. The Banshee's coming in. Clem going for his own Banshee play. But ByuN is going to hit first, and there's not much at home to defend. Oh boy. Here it goes. The boys are being pulled. SCVs are going to be going down. We can afford to lose some. The Raven! Raven goes down. Big pickoff here for Clem. Massive pickoff. But back at home, he may have killed a couple of SCVs, but he's losing so much more. Ay. It's going to be 4, 5 SCVs as well. Yeah, we just focus on as many as we can. 7. Oh my god. ByuN now up 12 workers. More than that even. And, oh boy. In a mirror matchup, this is brutal. Now, okay, so Clem, he has a chance to redeem himself. Okay, there's potential. 1, he has a drop. He has a drop that's active. 2, Cloak is about to finish, and Clem just killed the Raven. Remember that. He just sniped the Raven of ByuN. So ByuN is going to have to rely on scans instead. Here we go. Oh, he has the scan! No! As the Banshee takes a lot of hits, but barely does get out of scan range, we have a second Raven, and this Banshee gets a couple of SCVs, gets 3, but will go down. I don't like this. As ByuN is safe and secure, he's up over 10 workers. Is going to be able to get into the swing of things here. Clem back at home going for a third CC. Getting into Ravens. Interference Matrix is on the way. And we'll see if Clem can stabilize. Maybe if we try to turtle instead, just take a more defensive position, then we can take a better fight. That is true. Meanwhile, ByuN throws down 2 more Raxes. He does already have a third CC done, so he should be landing on location soon. Should be working up towards the mid game. Like, ByuN, he doesn't have to go for the kill right now. He can just chill. He's chilling back at home. He's working on upgrades, production. Now the third CC is being landed. Like, there's no rush here for ByuN, as he can just take his lead and extend it. As here we go, we see ByuN even coming in for some auto Tartaras. Getting a couple of SCVs in the main. Oh, 2 more and 3 more even. We can't afford to lose workers, papi. Not anymore. Not like this. Clem, does catch some Cyclones. Good pickoff. Very good pickoff. Clem, he's up in army supply actually. Can we make some magic happen? As another auto target gets thrown down. Oh, that's 5 SCVs in total. But here comes Clem. He can disable. He does have disables available. Likewise, so does ByuN. Tanks are going down for both players. The boys are being pulled. SCVs are falling. So many of them here for ByuN. It's going to be 14, 15 SCVs, but alas, it's just too much. ByuN holds, and Clem was committed. And ByuN will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. That was a rough game there from Clem. Very rough game. Very rough start, I should say. Losing so many SCVs and continuing to lose SCVs over the course of that game. There was potential for damage with the drop play, with the Cloak Banshees as well, but ByuN shut it all down. Didn't really sustain too many losses. Towards the end there, Clem was completely all in. He just had to send it then and there. Alas, could not break ByuN. Could not do enough, and now we're getting into game number 2. In the bottom right hand corner for Team Liquid, Clem. And in the top right hand corner, we have, sorry, top left hand corner, we have a Shopify, ByuN. Here we go. TVT does continue, and for some context, ByuN, if he wins this game, Shopify wins the series. Shopify will take it. If Clem fights back, if he puts a point on the board here and now, we force the ace match. And then we end up in a really interesting scenario where we mentioned before, Team Liquid, they don't have all their players available just because of the nature of, you know, StarCraft at the moment. We do have another major tournament also happening at the same time. So they are otherwise preoccupied. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, as Clem is going for a proxy. Okay, so an interesting 2 racks. Clem has 1 racks at home and 1 racks across the map. So a little bit of a less committed 2 racks than what ByuN did in game 1, but a 2 racks nonetheless. Looking to snowball out of control, looking to apply a lot of pressure here with Reapers and catch ByuN unawares. Meanwhile, ByuN is going for an economic opener. He's going for a racks expand. ByuN has only taken 1 gas. This is ideal for Clem. Ideal scenario for him to get damage done. ByuN taking the CC on location, and once the Reapers rock up, I believe Clem should be able to delay that CC. So far so good. So far so good here for Clem. Again, just looking to apply as much as he can, as much pressure as he can here with these Reapers. Meanwhile, ByuN is pushing out. Bold move, waiting here on the high ground, is going to miss the aggression of his opponent. As here comes that Reaper. ByuN still halfway done making that CC. Oh no, he shoots first! Oh, ByuN, will he escape? He will not. The Reaper goes down. A big loss for ByuN already. The Marine is going to go down as well, and we go straight for the main. Oh my god, we threaten the main. We force the boys to be pulled. They have to be pulled here. SCV goes down. We get a surround. Oh my god. That should not have happened. We do get a surround on the Reaper. Likewise, the second Reaper as well, taking a lot of hits. We do get the Marine. Additional Reapers are coming out. ByuN, he needs a little bit more time. He's got a Cyclone on the way. But there are too many Reapers, and it's just snowballing out of control. Like, here in the early game, you have to be so crisp, and losing a Reaper so early on is massive. ByuN losing 6 SCVs. The roles have been reversed. The turns have tabled. There we go. How was it the turns have tided? I'm sleepy. As we trade blow for blow, and 8 SCVs go down, and now it's going to be ByuN's turn to fall behind in the early game, to have a crippled economy. Can he come back? As Clem is floating back home. There are Cyclones in position. We're going to be able to trade 2 Marines for a Reaper. Not the best trade for ByuN. Another Cyclone, sorry, is on the way. We're getting into our 1-1-1s. Clem going to be taking... Oh my god, he's actually going, yeah, for a CC on the low ground. It is going to be a little bit later, but again, he still maintains his economic lead. Does maintain his economy. Medevacs are on the way for both players. It looks like both players want to be aggressive. Clem looking to just maintain that worker lead, and ByuN looking to fight back. Looking to somehow reciprocate that damage. It's going to be close. It is going to be close here. We'll see if they miss each other or if they come across each other. As that Rax has finally made it back home. And the Clem is pushing out. You can see here for the most part, Clem has been ahead in the economy. Cyclone drops are moving out. Who reacts first? Do they come across each other? I think they may. They may. They will not. Oh my god. They will miss each other. The ships, they pass in the night. And who's going to be able to hold on? I mean, what's important is that Clem, he also has the rest of his ground army here to support. It isn't just double Cyclone. Yeah, we get into the mineral line. The SCVs are going down. Get one, we get two. We get a Cyclone as well. As ByuN is going to be able to hold on, but not without losing SCVs. Meanwhile, across the map, ByuN gets into the mineral line. He's trying to get damage done, but he's going to be forced back. More SCVs are falling. And it looks like we will lose both Cyclones as well. A brutal loss. Clem lost 5 workers. ByuN lost 11. 12. He's still losing more. The Banshee. The Banshee goes down. Hull pickup as well. We save one of both Cyclones. Oh my god. Clem, he's upset. He's angry. He's frustrated after what happened in game 1. Embarrassed even. Now he's looking to do the same to ByuN. As Clem is all over him. Cyclones, they're barely alive. Do we have any SCVs? We do not, so we cannot repair. Not yet. Looks like we're going to be coming back home just to top everyone up. And are we... I mean, we are so close to that ace match. So close to that final game. Clem just getting further ahead. We have a 3rd CC on the way, so Clem, he doesn't have to be aggressive. He's just, again, macroing out of this. ByuN on the other side, though, doubling down. Raven production. Sim. Interference Matrix. All the upgrades are on the way. Now he throws down a 3rd CC, but quite late here compared to Clem. ByuN, though, his is on location. Just trying to be as greedy as possible. Oh, not like this, and the green is going to be punished as Clem rocks up. He takes down the SCV. And he doesn't quite go for the base. He is going to be taking a lot of damage there. He's going to back off. At the same time, ByuN pushes back into the main base once again. He's getting some SCVs. Oh my god. He gets 5. Can he get a Raven? Not quite. But does get a decent amount of workers. And is going to be trapped in the bottom right hand corner of the map. And again, we're in an interesting game state. So the economies are pretty comparable. Now, because Clem has been mining more for longer, that is reflected in the overall supplies. He's also been preserving a lot of units as well. Oh no, the medevac! The medevac does get targeted down. Cyclone barely within range. Massive loss there for ByuN. Meanwhile, the armies are going to be clashing. Cyclones, they've been spotted. Raven goes down regardless. Oh my god. Good pick up here from ByuN. But here comes the death ball of an army. Here comes the move that's supposed to end the game. Cyclone's doing well kiting. Oh my god, they're getting so many Marines. As Clem has arrived, he's going to lay siege upon the 3rd base, gets a worker. Could even get a kill on that base as well. We're trying to float over. Auto targets are thrown down as well. It looks like the CC is going to go down. A big pick off here for Clem. And how does ByuN come back from this? Even if he takes a good fight, he has to counterattack immediately. That's going to be a big if. And here we go, we're diving in. Sables are thrown down. Auto turrets as well. But we have defensive auto turrets, and the tanks, they are saved. You can see another 3rd TC on the way. ByuN trying to macro out of this, going for that Cyclone drop again across the map. Getting a couple of SCVs. Going into the main base. Yeah, Bobby, yeah. I mean, the Cyclone is getting damage done, don't get me wrong. Oh, the SVs come back in just in time for the Cyclones. But here we go, the main army of Clem pushing into the natural base. The boys have to be pulled. And this is looking to be the final stand here of ByuN. As he does close the distance, he gets on top of the tanks, does take down one. He takes down every single tank. Oh my god. But he's down to 46 workers. The economy is in shambles here for ByuN. He cleans up the army, but at what cost? CC has completed. And the thing about TVT is that because it's so positional based, it's still going to take a little bit here for Clem to actually muster up an army to kill his opponent. Again, Defender's advantage is so huge in this matchup, essentially, in TVT. And in general, but yeah. The drop is forced back. Clem is just getting a 4th CC. Working on +1 ship weapon, vehicle weapons. 2nd factory, double starport, double medevac production. Okay, so is there a world, can ByuN come back? He totally can, like, especially if Clem takes another base, if he spreads himself too thin, then ByuN, he can pop off with some drop play, and that's most likely what he's waiting for. He's waiting for Clem to expose himself, and then ByuN can take advantage of that. Clem is pushing. Gonna be stimming up the ramp ahead of time, cleaning up the marine. At the same time, ByuN going for his own counterattack as well. Scan does reveal that Clem is turning back around. Again, Clem is just making sure he keeps up with the movement of ByuN, making sure that nothing goes by unnoticed. Is the world, can ByuN maybe collapse on this army? I mean, he's just down 40 supply though. How do we pull that off? So here we go, ByuN, he gets across the map. He's looking to get a kill in the 4th CC, and he looks like he will. Meanwhile, Clem, he doesn't turn around. He should recognize, hold up, if these Marines are across the map, that means they're not back at home. That means that we can dive in. We can dive, Papi, we can dive. Good SimCity. Tank volleys are going to be going off here on the Marines. ByuN, he's racing back home, looking to just surround this army. And Clem has to be careful. Does have to be wary. Yeah, he does get eyes on the army. He's coming in for his own surround. Oh my god, 2 medevacs fall. The 3rd barely escapes, and yeah, Clem, he should be able to run away with this. Good time to reinforce as well. Collapsing on the surround of ByuN, surrounding the surroundee. The surrounder. Surrounded. As boys have to be pulled. And this time we have plenty of Marines to hold on to the line. And it looks like Clem, he is just completely annihilating this army. He breaks through. GG gets called, and Clem will take game number 2. We have an ace match. We're going all the way to that final game. GG. Whew. GG, well played. This series was honestly dictated by the early game. The early game decided everything. Game 1, ByuN popped off with a proxy 2 racks. Game 2, Clem popped off with his own variation of proxy 2 racks as well. And they just both did so much damage in their respective games, and they got a lead and they never let it go. So very well done. And now it all comes down to the ace match. And let me just set up the predictions as well. Best of 1. Okay. And the question becomes, who is the ace player? Now, I mentioned before, both Elazer and Clem are unavailable. They're competing in ESL Masters. It is very unlikely that they're going to be picked here as the ace players. Even though historically Clem has been the ace player for Team Liquid, I don't think that he's going to be available tonight. I don't think he's going to be able to participate in this. Let me just double check. As Clem is going to be playing, as Elazer is currently playing against Cyril, and Clem is playing against Spirit right after Elazer series. So technically, maybe Clem is available for a best of one. It's possible to slip that in. But another good choice is going to be Cure. Cure is the most recent pickup for Team Liquid, and Cure is not playing in ESL Masters, obviously, because that's a more international focus. And here it is. It is going to be Cure versus ByuN. A very different TBT. Let's go. Let us go, and predictions in the chats are open. As oh my god, we're just diving into this. Bam! In the bottom left for Team Liquid, Cure. And in the top right we have a Shopify. It is ByuN. Ah, there are some plushies up there. Ah, the plushies. Let's go. Ooh. We're here for the Ace Match, the final series here, the final game of not just this best of 7, not just this Team League match, but of the entire broadcast. Of course, we were covering Sparkling Tunica before this, leading into WTL, and I'm gonna be happy to get some food and lie down after this, not gonna lie. I don't know if I'm gonna be covering ESL Masters Americas after this. It is tempting, but it depends how much sleep I can get, how much rest I can get before that does occur. We'll see. We shall see. As for now, we are getting into our openers. This time we do have a double gas opener from Cure, so a much more aggressive build here from our blue Terran player. Meanwhile, ByuN is going for an economic opener, going for a Rax expand. So we have already very different roles that are being taken. Cure being the aggressor, ByuN being the defender. There it is, CC, soon to be set up on the low ground once we have the minerals for it. Once we get that 400 minerals from ByuN, should be going straight for that CC. And there it is. It is on the way. We can see Cure, he doubles back. He does confirm CC on the low ground. So he knows that his opponent is going for an economic opener. Which means Cure, he knows he's safe. He knows he is safe. He knows he's also safe to be aggressive. Here we go. So I believe predictions are closed. Predictions in the chat, they have closed, and oh boy, with this double gas opener, okay, Curie is going to be coming in with an SCV. The goal of this SCV is actually to tank the shot. So if he's able to tank that shot, then Cure will be able to come out on top here in this trade. Up, there it is. There, Cure, he does shoot first. Oh my god, getting so much more damage done there to that Reaper, and will delay the CC on the low ground. Up. Oh, it's gonna be close. Yeah, Cure, he does end up shooting first once again, does pull back against his opponent. Cure is getting his own CC on the low ground. Cyclone production well underway for Cure. Interesting. Meanwhile, ByuN going for a 1-1-1 follow-up. No 3 racks or anything crazy like that. Oh, as well. Oh my god, we just barely delayed the CC again. He's crazy. Oh my god. A good start here from Cure. Again, ByuN went for an economic opener, but because of all the delays, not as economic as he would have liked. As for now, we're just kind of taking positions here. We can see Cure go straight for that medevac. Once again, we're going to be seeing some drop play out of Cure. And we'll see how successful it's going to be. Medevac is on the way. Meanwhile, ByuN is just building up his Cyclone count, getting into Ravens as well. Pretty secure start here from ByuN overall. Low worker counts have been evened up here, and Cure is pushing. Oh my god. Cure is pushing the Raven. Did he catch wind of it? I don't think he did. So ByuN is going for a bit of harass across the map. That means that the Raven won't be at home to defend. Bear that in mind. No defensive Raven. As Cure is looking at maybe even elevator into the main. But there are deepers to scout. Yeah, there are deepers to spot this. Cure has to be careful. Does get a couple of SCVs. Gets two. We're getting the hell out of there. At the same time, here comes that Autotard harasses and Cyclones ahead into the natural. SCVs are falling for both players left and right. Ooh, Cure will lose a Cyclone. We'll lose both Cyclones. Oh my god. They trade blow for blow, 3 workers for 3 workers, but Cure, he's been losing units. Losing some of these fighting units as well. Oh my god, Cyclone, another one goes down, and this may just be too much. No, every single Cyclone. Cure, a bit of miscontrol. At the same time, ByuN is getting across the map. He gets 1 SCV, delays the third base. And this is becoming too much. Cure forced to back up. He has more Cyclones coming in from behind. ByuN goes for the goes for the main base. 6 SCVs. And as Cure finally takes control of his natural base, 31 SCVs. He's down 6 workers. He's down in the economy. He lost a lot of Cyclones as well. And now he's going for the 3rd CC in the main. Again, the army sizes are quite comparable. ByuN also working on his own 3rd CC on location instead of in his main base. Being a little bit more adventurous as he does have map control. Diving in for another time. Oh, it looks like ByuN going to be losing his Ravens though in the process. Yeah, 1 Raven for 2 Cyclones. Not the best trade. We're not stopping with the Autotard harass, and the Cyclones are looking to overwhelm. But they barely will not. Oh, every single Cyclone for ByuN does go down. A bit of an overextension. Still has his Ravens alive, both of them, if I'm not mistaken, but did lose all of his Cyclones. It looks like he lost his Raven in the main. Oh. Not ideal. Oh wait, no, it's still alive. I didn't realize we made 4. It still keeps that Raven alive. We're getting into Sim, combat shields, 1-1, Autotard into the main. Again, makes sense. And the game is going to settle from here. Game is going to be settling. ByuN, of course, still has an economic lead that isn't really reflected in the army yet, but it soon will be. Soon it will be, as the production is getting underway, and ByuN, of course, will have the better economy to sustain all of that production. It isn't really revealed yet, but over the course of this game, the supplies will become further and further in favor of ByuN unless he takes bad fights. Unless he takes bad trades. As Cure is coming in, but there's a turret in position. Oh my god, doing so much damage already to the lib. Does siege up in the natural base, but Marines are going to be coming in, and it doesn't take too much at all to sneeze on that lib and bring it down. 2 worker kills at the same time. Cure also going into the main, but there's another turret in position. Do not underestimate the turrets of ByuN. Not again. Whether the turrets are defensive or offensive, we get another 4 SCVs. 5! Oh my god, how many does this 1 Raven have? This 1 Raven has like, what, 15 kills? Jesus. Oh my god. As we see Cure trying desperately to do some damage across the map. Here comes that Cyclone, sorry, that Liberator even. Into the main. We're going to get a couple of SCVs. By a couple, I mean 1. We sim on foot. Oh, we bring down the lib. 1 SCV. Not quite worth it. I lost mining time, but yeah, outside of that, ByuN is sitting pretty. Here we go. We have the push upon us. This entire time, ByuN, he's been enjoying an economic lead, and I mentioned before that we just needed a couple of seconds, we needed a minute or so for that really to be shown here and reflected in the army supply. And there it is. ByuN, he is up heavily. He's pushing across the map now. Of course, TVT is still very positional based, so there's a world where if Cure is in position, if he lands with those disables, Cure can win a fight. Even being down in armor supply, he can still win a fight, and I'm sure ByuN is aware. So he backs off. 2-2 is on the way. And yeah, ByuN is working on a 4th CC. This push was threatening, but I mean, Cure was kind of ready for it, and ByuN isn't quite able to flex his army yet. As the armies are missing each other. Cure is going for his own counterattack, and ByuN is out in the center of the map. Raven comes in. Looks like the Raven finally is not gonna go down. Oh my god, but here come the Marines. We dive on the CC, and we should force a cancel. There is a cancel on the base. We do have the Marines. They dive in between the bases. That's a kill on the CC. Oh my god, 400 minerals down the drain. Massive pigots here from Cure. Gets a turret as well. Like, Cure, he knows that he's going to be cleaned up, but he did so much with this dive. He's still down 30 supply, but hey, he, again, canceled a 4th, got a kill on a 5th, got the turrets, or the sensor tower even. Not bad. As, yeah, at this stage, Cure is just going for a bio-heavy composition. Mass Marine. Very flexible. A lot of potential as well. Very cheap. But we can't fight. Not like this. ByuN, he's up in upgrades. He's got 2-2. Big advantage there in Marine versus Marine fights. Tanks are getting in position. Ravens are coming in as well. Show us the fight. Big anti-armor missile. The Dorito cannon is real. We dive on the army, but these Marines are so vulnerable here. A big overextension out of ByuN. This is what Cure needs. He needs these overextensions. He needs ByuN to take some bad fights. More SCVs are going down. Leave him alone. Leave the SCVs alone. As Cure is attempting to take a 4th. Drop it behind the mineral line even. Here comes the main army of ByuN pushing right through the center. Oh. Disables are real, and ByuN, did he overextend here? The upgrades have evened up. Yeah, ByuN is going to be losing a tank. Oh god, but the drop play still getting out of hand. It's one of those things where it feels like Cure has been trading better recently. These past couple of minutes he has been fighting better, but he just keeps losing SCVs. Like, well, what can we say? 6 more SCVs go down. ByuN is now maxed. 200 supply. ByuN working on 3-3. Cure still hasn't started. Triple jump is coming. Cure, he sees. Oh, late to react. Does not get the medevacs. They get into the main base. This is a wild drop, by the way. We're trying to drag Cure out of position. And this drop shouldn't get much done. But at the same time, here we go. ByuN, he pushes through the center with his main army. There we go. Sieging between the bases. Show us the auto turret. Show us the disables. They're not here. There's no disables available. Cure's not ready for this, and ByuN wedges himself in between the bases. Ay. And without disables, we cannot dive on this army. There are just too many tanks. Marines, they get into the natural. 2 of those gas guys just go down, and now we can just unsiege and leave. We don't have to stick around. We will, but we don't have to. Medevac does go down. We can see Cure trying to go for a counterattack, but he runs into a tank. He should be able to get it for free. That goes down. Not bad. Oh, the Marines! They dove on top of the medevac. I think one of them went down. Cure losing 10 more SCVs as well. Ay. As we try to dive on these tanks. Supply block, the supply block. As ByuN is still maxed at this point. Getting so many extra volleys in. It's an uphill battle here for Cure. Not impossible, but very uphill. With weighted clothing. 10 times gravity. Just Aye. If it was any other player, then maybe I'd give Cure a better chance, but ByuN, he is just making sure he doesn't overextend. Did I speak too soon? Nah, we're fine. We pull back to the tanks. Big volleys go off. And ByuN, he just dives on the army. He has 3-3 over his opponent, a big upgrade advantage. He knows he can take these fights. Tanks are getting within range of the planetary. You're trying to push forward here. ByuN, it looks like he's going to be broken on the right-hand side. He has one tank left. Both tanks go down. Not bad. But ByuN is reinforcing on the left. That's a lot of reinforcements, Papi. That's a lot of reinforcements. Let's rotate around towards that third. The tanks are laid to siege. No! And it looks like ByuN has finally done it. He collapses on top of the tanks. One wrong move. Cure, he was out of position, not quite ready for this, and all the tanks are going to go down. GG gets called, and Shopify Rebellion does it. ByuN does it. In a tense game where ByuN was able to just get ahead early on and pull Cure apart. How many SCVs died that game? How many of Cure's workers went down? That was wild. Just a very active, very aggressive style out of ByuN. Again, off of a very powerful start of the game. Remember, because they would take an economic lead, held on to it throughout the course of the entire game. And Cure was just behind from almost the beginning. He was just playing from behind, trying to recover, trying to catch up. As we mentioned before, in mirror matchups specifically, it's difficult. It's difficult to come back from a deficit just because you have the same tools as your opponent, and yeah, it's just difficult to overcome. But that is it for tonight. Mystery Gaming versus Basilisk and Team Liquid versus Shopify Rebellion. That is tonight's matches in the books. And what's important, this is day 3, the final day of the week. Standings. The standings are about to be updated, and we are about to find out what the standings look like here at the end of week 7. 11 weeks in total. We're almost done. We have a couple more weeks left. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 weeks remaining for the round robin group stage, and here it is. Full screen. Bam. Onside is number 1, followed by Basilisk. Shopify at number 3 over Psystorm, CranKy Gaming, Liquid here as number 6. So we have our top 6 settled for now. DKZ still here at number 5, still just trying to find the way up there. And looking at the bottom of the brackets here, we have we have Starving Camels, Kwangdong, Maturino, Mystery, Platinum Heroes, and Starlight Twinkle as well. Mystery Gaming, they have been fighting back. They have been getting some better performances, but like even tonight, they forced the ace match. Really good stuff. But is it too late? A lot of these teams on the right-hand side are going to be vying for those playoff spots towards the bottom. Things are going to get really intense between them. Likewise, Team Liquid is trailing a little bit behind when it comes to the upper echelons of the pack, so they could be overwhelmed. They could be overcome. It's possible. It is possible. But yeah, with that is our standings here. The poor Starving Camels. The Starving Camels. Not like this. Yeah, they've been struggling without Firefly. The Starving Camels, they straight up, they have been struggling. It is understandable. It is understandable how much that they have been hurting without them. But it's okay. I want to believe. I want to believe that they can fight back. I want to believe. As yeah, with that, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Thanks so much everyone for watching. I am giga tired. I was already tired leading into the first series. Like after Sparkling Tuna Cup, I was like, hold on. She needs to step on us. Hold on. Let's go. Shout out to Honkai Star. Uwu's in the chat. Shout out to the Weebs. Why was he in the trash can? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There's like some Pokemon battle. I don't. Yeah. Aye. Do I know what Honkai Star is? No. Do I want to know? I like it just being in my mind. I don't need to realize what's happening. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much everyone for the support as well. As I was saying, I was on the fence about casting tonight. After Sparkling Tuna Cup, I was already worn out, but I was able to get into it, and with that, yeah. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Our next broadcast is going to be most likely tomorrow, ESL Cup Asia. There is a slim chance that I'm able to wake up in time for ESL Masters Winter Americas. The Americas broadcast is in how many hours? It's scheduled to start. Let me just double check TL. ESL Masters Winter Americas is 2 hours. No shot. I want to cast it. I want to cover it. Scarlett's playing tonight. I want to cover it, but I'm going to be going to bed, and if I can wake up in time, then hey, we'll be there for I'll set my alarm to co-stream. No promises though. No promises, as we are going to be just getting some rest. And yeah, so if we don't make it to co-stream in 2 hours, then ESL Cup Asia. ESL Cup Asia is in less than 24 hours. Check us out then and there. It's going to be amazing. It is going to be beautiful. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who, but we'll give someone a raid. We'll give someone our love and support. So stick around for that. Otherwise, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. It's 6 hours from now. We'll see you guys then. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego. Great day of StarCraft. Great day of StarCraft. Sparkling Tuna Cup. WTL was beautiful. It was amazing. Take care, everyone. Take care.